The story of Nikola Tesla's quest for wireless power. Nikola Tesla, one of history's greatest inventors and visionaries, spent much of his career attempting to revolutionize the way we think about power and communication. His dream, a world where electricity could be transmitted wirelessly over long distances without the need for wires and cables. This dream began to take shape in the late 19th century and would lead Tesla on a path that saw him build groundbreaking inventions, suffer financial ruin, and leave a legacy of genius that would inspire future generations. The early days, wireless lighting and the power of coils. In the 1890s, Tesla's work on wireless power began as an offshoot of his experiments with coils. He had already achieved impressive feats, like wirelessly lighting bulbs using high-voltage electricity. His idea was simple yet ambitious. Could he develop a system that would allow electricity to flow through the air, transmitting power to places that could not be reached by traditional power lines? In doing so, he hoped to not only power homes and factories, but also change the way the world communicated. Tesla believed that if he could tune electrical currents to the right frequencies, he could send energy through the atmosphere, and even through the Earth itself. While no one else believed such a feat was possible at the time, Tesla was convinced that this was the future. Colorado Springs, pushing the limits of power. Tesla's first big breakthrough came when he set up a laboratory in Colorado Springs at an altitude of over 6,000 feet. In 1899, with funding from wealthy businessman John Jacob Astor, Tesla moved to Colorado to conduct his experiments. There, he built one of his most famous inventions, a gigantic coil capable of producing millions of volts. The device, known as the magnifying transmitter, could create arcs of electricity up to 135 feet long, and Tesla soon became famous for his dramatic experiments, which looked like artificial lightning storms. In Colorado Springs, Tesla believed he could send electrical power through the Earth itself. His theory was that the Earth could act like a giant conductor, carrying electrical energy across vast distances. Tesla's work in Colorado included experiments with electrical transmissions and the creation of high-voltage discharges that were so powerful they caused power outages in nearby areas. But Tesla also made some unusual observations during this time. He believed he was receiving strange signals through his equipment. These signals, he thought, could be messages from another planet, perhaps Mars. The media jumped on this story, and soon Tesla was claiming that he could communicate with otherworldly beings. Although his conclusions were later discredited, the idea of talking to planets became one of the most sensational stories of his career. The Wardenclyffe Tower, the vision for global wireless transmission. By 1901, Tesla had developed an even bolder vision, a system that would transmit both communication signals and electrical power wirelessly across the globe. To make this dream a reality, he began work on what would become the Wardenclyffe Tower, a massive facility on Long Island, New York. Tesla hoped that this tower could send energy to any part of the world, using the Earth as a conductor for his electrical currents. Tesla managed to secure funding for the project from none other than J.P. Morgan, the famous banker, who agreed to invest $150,000 in exchange for a majority share in any future patents Tesla might generate. Tesla was thrilled, and work on the tower began. The plan was to create a massive transmitter that could send signals and even power through the air. Tesla envisioned the Wardenclyffe Tower as the hub of a new, wireless world. But things did not go as planned. Marconi's success and the struggle for funding. In December 1901, just months after Tesla began work on Wardenclyffe, an Italian inventor named Guglielmo Marconi achieved something that would change everything. He successfully transmitted the letter S in Morse code from England to Newfoundland, proving that wireless communication over long distances was possible. Tesla, who believed Marconi had copied his ideas, was devastated. His own system, which was meant to transmit far more than simple telegraph signals, now seemed obsolete in the face of Marconi's success. Tesla's requests for additional funding to expand his project were rejected by J.P. Morgan, who had lost interest in Tesla's grand vision. The media began to turn against Tesla, and investors started to pull out. The Wardenclyffe project, which had once held so much promise, began to crumble under financial strain. Despite his continued efforts to secure more backing, Tesla's project was eventually abandoned. The collapse and the end of Tesla's dream. By 1905, Tesla's financial troubles were mounting. He was forced to mortgage the Wardenclyffe property, and in 1915, the tower was demolished to make way for a real estate development. Tesla's great dream of wireless power transmission had failed. In his later years, Tesla lived in relative obscurity. He continued to work on his ideas, but his finances were gone, and public interest had shifted to other inventors like Marconi. Tesla was eventually forced to sell off his remaining patents and declare bankruptcy. Many of his ideas, though visionary, were simply too ahead of their time. Legacy of a visionary. Though Tesla's grand dreams of wireless power never came to fruition, his work laid the groundwork for many technological advancements that followed. Today, wireless communication, radio, and even wireless power transfer are all part of our daily lives. While others, like Marconi, gained fame and fortune for their work, it is Tesla who is remembered as one of the most innovative minds of the 19th and 20th centuries. Tesla died in relative obscurity in 1943, but his legacy has endured, inspiring inventors, engineers, and scientists around the world. His belief in a world connected by wireless energy and communication was a vision that, in many ways, still shapes the technological landscape today. Though his wireless power experiments did not succeed, Nikola Tesla's work reminds us of the power of innovation, the importance of perseverance, and the boundless potential of human imagination.